What is the crack, guys? It's Nathan here, aka the Rambling Kern and head instructor of Kern School of Combat. So, a bit of a shorter video than usual today. If you want to see a bit more of me this week, pop on over to the Irish Medieval History channel. I have done a video for them, so big thanks to the team over there. So I've done kind of a brief overview video for them of the weapons that were popular in Ireland during the medieval period. But on to today's video. So today I'm going to basically just do a first impression video. I've actually had this sword now for a few weeks. This won't be a full review. There will be a full review coming once I've had time to sharpen the sword and get it up to the condition that I want it in. And then obviously I'll be doing test cutting and all that sort of stuff with it. But anyway, the sword in question is this one. So it is a replica from the team over at Neilo Sword. So I'll give you a bit of an idea. Somewhat of a close-up. Classic Irish ring pommel sword. So I'll give you a few close-up pictures of this, sent courtesy of the team at Nielo Sword. So once again, a huge thank you to them. So yeah, as I say, this won't be a full in-depth review just yet. So a little bit of detail about this sword and the process. This sword is loosely based on the Neilo Sword, as well as a surviving original that went up for auction a few years ago. I don't know what has since happened to that sword, but they are actually some of the best pictures and best preserved Irish sword that we know of. So as a result, it would allow me to give a very informed overview of how this sword should be shaped, and the details that I wanted it specifically made to. So on that note, it was been an absolute pleasure to work with the team at Neilo Sword. They were really amazing to deal with. This sword is down to my exact specifications. Everything from the crossguard to the pommel to the overall weight, the overall length, everything is exactly as I requested. They even went so far as to include the fullering and the traditional circle and cross decoration that was seen on these blades. I'm not too sure really as to whether that was just a decorative thing or whether that was there was a purpose behind it. But this sword has turned out phenomenally. It does need an edge put on it. The edge is about a mil and a half in thickness at the moment, so edge does need to be put on it. General first impressions of it, really well made. Fit and finish, hit my light bulb. Fit and finish is superb. You'll see in the pictures this red leather handle looked a little bit light at first. It's since darkened down, which is brilliant. I much prefer the look of it now. That would be the only critique I would make. It's just the wrap on the rear side of the handle here. If you can see, it's just a little bit coarse, a little bit unrefined. But again, for the work that was put into this blade and for the price I paid, absolutely superb work. And the team really did go above and beyond. The only difference between this and the Neilo is that it is basically about half an inch longer in the handle. Main reason being I wanted to be able to use this when I'm wearing my HEMA gloves. Basically just for a bit of safety and when I'm swinging it around. These blades, now that I actually have one and have one to handle, I have another sparring replica made from Cavet and Armory, which I will show at some point. But this one is really, really interesting. And you will see a few kind of interesting things with this. It is quite top heavy and feels very heavy, even though it's a very light sword. And what I mean by that is this sword is only about 900 grams. When I do the full review, once I have the edge actually taken down, it'll be slightly less, so I'll put up the exact stats then. But it is very interesting to note that even though this is quite a light sword, it is very top heavy and does really want to swing. Obviously it would be a good thruster, but there's very little profile taper and very little distal taper. I really have the ricasso here and then very, very little, maybe about a mil to 2 mil at most really in distal taper on the way down, and as a result it does feel quite forward heavy, and as you can see the point of balance is quite far out on the blade, just to give you a bit of perspective on that. Now I'll show you some pictures now in a second of some of the surviving examples, so have a quick look at those. So obviously if you're interested in this sword or getting a similar sword made, I will pop a link to the team over at Neilo Sword. Let them know I sent you. Again, no kickbacks, nothing goes my way, but I'm really impressed by this. Turned out superbly. I do need to get a scabbard made for this. I do want one in a particular style of the Irish Kern, so if anyone has any recommendations on that, please do let me know. Also, if you are interested in a slightly higher end off the shelf sword, the Albion Kern is out there, and I will link to Aikidoka's page, who did a review of that sword and have given me a bit of a shout out on that one, so big thank you to them. I do recommend you check out their channel as well. Some really good sword testing videos on there. One thing that he did note as well, which I do actually really have to agree with, is if you put the finger over the crossguard on this sword, it feels like a completely different sword. Suddenly it gets a lot more nimble, thrusting is a lot easier, it's a lot easier to move around, and as a result it feels very different compared to if you hold it you know, in your conventional kind of hammer or somewhat saber style grip. So like I say, there will be a full review of this coming. Just kind of wanted to give my initial impressions now. Like I say, general fit and finish is absolutely superb. The fit in around the guard is really well done. The weight, everything else, all the specs have been perfect. The pommel is hammered over. Nice tidy job. Not like super machine perfect, but I generally like you know, things that look handmade when they are handmade. So really like it. The grinds on the fullers are also really well done. Look pretty much exactly as the original, and like I say, extra little details of the ring decoration, the circular dots put on the blade as well. So a really big thank you to the team at Neilo Sword. I will be doing a full video about the history of these swords as well, because these are very much unique to Ireland in many ways. There are examples from other parts of Europe, but this really became the popular and quintessential Irish sword, even though they didn't last especially long due to obviously the series of wars that followed after, and obviously the penal laws and Irish people not really being allowed to own weapons. But yeah, just my initial thoughts. Superb blade, flex, quite a stiff blade as you can see, so really, even though it doesn't feel especially like a thruster, I reckon this one will be an absolute beast on the thrust, and probably going to be very hefty on the cut too. So once I get round to getting an edge on this, we'll get the full review video up, and I will obviously post links down below to Aikidoka's review of the Albion Kern, and obviously to Neilo Sword's page as well. And if you want to see a more in-depth video about the kind of general overview of traditional Irish weapons and weapons that were popular on the island, check out the Irish Medieval History channel as well, because they will be putting up a video of mine this week. So, like I said, a bit of a shorter video than usual, but I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you once again for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. Really does help the channel, and we're trying to grow it, and some really fun projects coming this summer and within the next few months. So once again, thank you all, and so on.